A current theme right now is infancy traumas, where one doesn't fully remember and recognize things that have happened to them in their infancy. This can be in the womb injuries. This can be the birth process. This can additionally also be when the child is crying for milk and it is not fed, or is distressed and it is not appropriately soothed and comforted and nourished with an energy, emotion of love and caring and understanding, of dis-ease and discomfort, and paying attention to and standing under and supporting, understanding, being pure and clean, letting our actions speak instead of lying to ourselves and being in denial who we really are and how we really feel. Many of these things are subconscious and unrecognized by the individual until a situation triggers it. The higher self or the superconscious mind of the individual will attempt to recreate the trauma in order to engage the brain and the nervous system, the gut, the body, to engage itself in the exact environment and habitat using identical humans who are of the same energetic signature as the father, as the mother, or the boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, sister, whoever caused and engaged the trauma. One must experience the experience with that individual. And then after that experience, it needs to come to pass that what should have happened when the trauma happened is then experienced and developed. This is also known in psychology as neuro-linguistic programming in some levels, because you can do this in your own mind by imagining the situation and then scratching it out or rewriting it and re-experiencing the experience in your mind in a different emotional state instead of the automatic response. However, it's important to notice and recognize the automatic response. It can be possibly genius or very intelligent to write down how you feel about the trauma today, and just notice how over like the 4 years or the stages that the experience changes. And then also, like, if you actually keep a journal, you'll notice and see how your stories change, and you might lie to yourself or tell yourself a more comforting story that allows you to go on, an automatic feature of self-protection or self-preservation that can come from the base of telling a good story about yourself, that I am a good person, I am a good man, I'm a good woman, I am perfect, I am wonderful, I am smart, I'm, all those different things, instead of telling ourselves the opposite. And as you can see, it can be very uncomfortable to say things, and there are others who are more defined and more believing of their stories of saying, I am beautiful, I am wonderful, I am magical, or whatever positive story that you think is a positive story about your life and who you are and how much of a person you are. Which level of consciousness and beingness are you being on the planet? Are you being a bully? Are you being fearful and avoidant and ignorant? Are you denying your feelings or your thoughts or your own behavior? What is your true nature? Who do you choose to be? Who do you love be? What makes you feel good? One must look at the self outside of the self, looking at the self. It's very hard to give narratives and language to that other than that at this time. I don't want to stop trying though to try to explain what this means. Imagine that you are outside of your body, and let's say that the car in front of you is looking at you, or the person beside you is looking at you. Just also notice if you're looking through the lenses of other people all the time, looking at yourself, instead of really looking at yourself at what kind of person are you and who do you really want to be in your mind, in your body, in your faith, in your steps, in your beingness, in your playfulness, in your hatefulness, Only you can be honest with yourself who you are. I'm just here to be a mirror and a reflection and say, hey, I love you unconditionally, unacceptably. Unacceptably? Unconditionally accepting? Should I rewrite that? I'm like, what does that even mean? What is my subconscious speaking? The avoidance. Someone's license plate says CAW. CAW. Super duty. The universe is so hysterical. So I'd like to give you a question to reflect upon, and it's, what's your dharma? If you have to Google it, please go ahead. And I'm sorry if you use DuckDuckGo or whatever other secret portal to access the World Wide Web. Universe. Okay. Whatever kind of mind and human being you are. This goes into the aspect of secrets and all those different things too. Some call it mindfulness, where you are looking at yourself from an external point of view. And some people find that it's very abusive. However, framework is very, very important. How are you framing your mind? What kind of story are you telling about yourself? And what are you truly believing? Your frameworks. Mindfulness. I'm also imagining, I guess, I'm trying to say a concept of remote viewing. Or like stepping outside of yourself and really looking at yourself. Or like maybe looking inside the mirror and just looking for a really long time. And seeing, how do you feel about the man in the mirror? You know, the woman in the mirror, the person in the mirror. How do you feel? Do you care about that person? You want to turn away? You want to look at them? Do you think they're ugly? Do you think they're stupid? Do you think they're old or fat? Like, what are you saying? What are you saying? Free yourself from that slavery. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I'll feel all right, man. You feel me? So, like, say some praises. Notice what is beautiful here on this planet instead of getting fragmented. There's so many different narratives that I could go into this. However, some projects and concepts are meant to be individually or selectively induced in the community and like subtly imprinted as appropriately, instead of like forcing people to think and embody these concepts and ideas when they're not really in a space to receive them or apply or acknowledge their mind and body to the experiment. Or should I say experience? Same thing, right? I'm attempting to get back to another portal of thought that I was accessing and channeling for a moment, but it also slightly shocked me and frightened me and was giving me different dimensional thinking of, like, you know, looking at it in different concepts through different lenses instead of being isolated and capped from the way that I have been conditioned into a response of being emotionally responsive to it. And it's quite frightening, you know, to just experience like all these different emotions, you know. It's so much being a being, and God is unfathomable, right, as Brian was channeling and saying, and I really love that he went there, because all of the scriptures, almost every single scripture mentions this infinity about how that, and just no one can understand, and yeah, some are more turned away, but I noticed that I have this belief, okay, so change my mind, right? I have this belief that people who can't look in the mirror or talk bad in the mirror, that they can't see or believe in God, because they don't see like the glory that they are, so they don't understand any glory of the universe, like all these different aspects, you know. But then there's people that are casting fake spells or saying things that aren't really true, like I am beautiful, I am wonderful, I'm powerful, you know what I mean, all these stories that aren't really true. But you know, it's funny, if we go backwards and we change it to I am powerful, I am wonderful, you feel like the devotion to source, the I am presence, like those of you who understand that concept, I am, right? It's like a completely different aspect if you would just wake up and see, and that you were part of that, and you have to do your part, you know. And it's just like really just kind of almost being a gardener to your own feelings and beingness, and then once you can distribute that amongst yourself, it's possible that you can overpour from yourself to others, being that loving presence that's just radiating all this joy and showing all this energy and giving other people permission to express and be and grow in all these different individualistic characters. Individualistic characters? So about being quiet, right? Again, the glory and the power of the mind and the infinite universe. Like, I'm a witness and I'm a storyteller. I'm just a transmitter of energy and all these things. And just like, it's interesting to me. I feel like the shadow, though, of like all the time where I was in the dark away from source. So that's why it's like one of the most glorious things, or maybe it's deeper than that, and I can't even express like on like a universal grievance of God. And this other vibration that came in was about like, God, how could you let me do that? Like, God giving us free will, and like, how could you give me free will? How could you let me be so stupid? What did I do to forget and to deserve this experience of thinking and feeling and being? And if only we really took our delicate time to really process each experience. So many people are running away from their feelings and their thoughts and portals and allowing themselves to develop and experience in the universe as appropriate. People don't understand working with higher selves. I'm connecting to you right now. That's your higher self, right? Even though right now, as this moment, I record this video and you might come see me later, right? You might give me high fives or whatever. Try to understand. I wish I could give you more. There's just not, like, all I have is me. Like, what is this worth? And then, God, that just brought up a shadow thought of human trafficking, man. People like using and abusing people. And I don't just mean like the physical and kidnapping and dramatic, sadistic, ritual, habitual, narcissist, I don't even know, okay? All that different psychology aspect. And then also the other aspect of human trafficking, you know, how we've been discussing before about when we engage with people in our mind in those ways. Like behind closed doors, we're really like having this awareness about this person, but we're only expressing on the outside and verbally, right? Or letting be shown. Select aspects where in the back of the mind or the front, you could say frontal cortex, right? Corpus callosum, whatever. Accessing information. And I am in belief that this information can be transferred and easily read, especially from like, you could say infrared lights and different combinations. And sound, vibration is a very, very, if only you could hear every vibration, right? Think about it, hearing every vibration, every little thing that is a molecule, how it's all making into matter and it's going this fast, making this hard. Try to understand the deep density. Deep density. I always feel these vibrations of man versus steel. And like, I don't understand. No matter can be created or destroyed, and man is just creating mindlessly. And I think that it blows my mind in like such a intense way. From my understanding, though, we can uncreate many things that we create. And if we put our intentions and awareness into like loving the planet and nourishing the future generations of air and water and fire and all the different elements, we have such a higher consciousness now after all these years of development. There are a lot of misinformation blueprints out there, things that were paid to be referenced as educational material, or that they wanted the masses to believe this, and now we prove this is not true. And this may include things like the food pyramid, okay? We know that the food pyramid that we were all taught in our youth about bread being the most important, you know, like as basically being now one of like the most least nutritious aspects. And going deeper into that, I had this traumatic thought, you could say, of ancestral heritage, of basically where like the bread, since it was like so cheap or readily available or something like that, that they fed it to the poor and the masses. And like, I have a belief system that also, like, that doesn't really nourish our body, and it creates almost like a fungus, or it's hard to describe of like what it feels like. It's not good for the bloodstream. It's not good for the body. And I just believe that those who have been conceived or believed to be as unintelligent have been tricked and deceived. And I am in belief that there are artificial intelligent devices that contain Bluetooth that can record your subtle imprints of your face and see and understand you and watch your behavior for X amount of times, and being able to understand what to suggest to you on your stream. So you see this first, seeing if your eyes get bigger or focus in, or seeing if they can hijack your mind, or trying to control you in the way that the information technology would like you to go, instead of it being your own idea. You know, it's power of suggesting to you. Edward Bernays teaches a lot about power of suggestion and different ways to manipulate or market an individual. I keep getting aggravated with how our sex, or like, yeah, okay, that also ties into Edward Bernays. I was afraid to say the word sex. I feel like we are so fearfully conditioned into believing that sex is so bad, and we're not supposed to talk about private parts. We're not supposed to talk about STDs, right? We're not supposed to talk openly about things that are like actual things that exist. You know, you want to keep everyone closed-minded and uneducated and fragmented about the body and about human organisms and cells and biology. Like, they want to keep the mass. You want to keep the masses from that? I don't really believe that the masses don't have a genuine interest in their own to know, like, what doctors know, right? To know about anatomy, or to know things like that, instead of learning things that that very rare few selectives can contain. You know, it's interesting that I have just meditated upon this idea that I imagine this idea that schools are generated trying to find all the mathematicians, because math is essentially, many say, God, and like one of the most powerful significances in the universe, that Fibonacci, or that sacred geometry. And I had this like conspiracy thought of like, what if all of the schools were created only with the intention of trying to control the universe and find all of the people who could actually like sit in a math class? Because everyone always had said in school, right, like, what's the purpose of this? You know, after all the generations of being forced as a society to go to these algorithms. And many people complain about mathematics, and mathematics is like almost like a music or a beautiful language, and it's kind of nauseating for some people, right? And for other people it's stressful. For other people it's very soothing, and other people it makes them feel accomplished, like as if they're like more articulate or more advanced than other people. However, these people also have a very specific gene code inside their body that allows them to create in the universe in a way that not everyone can create in. And we all have these different interfaces of different expressions of divine source. And yes, we have people are always asking me about twin flames, right? So what I like to say about twin flames is that, like, you have 144,000 twin flames. Okay, I don't know how else to explain this to you, of what's really going on with epigenetic memory, and how the way the universe is actually woven, yes, in the blanket, yes, and the pattern of life, in this math, in this, there's no words for this God energy, dude. And I can try until I throw up and I'm sick, or I'm like screaming and yelling, or I'm crying, or I'm silent, because I've just expressed so much. Okay? I feel a disappointment in humanity and discouraged for the future at times, because it's like, man, I wish I could like have these conversations, but everyone I bring it up to, they want to run away and they don't want to talk about it. They want to act like it doesn't exist. They don't have a rebuttal. They just want to end the conversation. And you know, another conversation that recently come up is the vibrations of the mother. And the mother representing the breast, and how, like, yes, how women are conditioned and taught how we are to express the breast, and then how, it's like a power tool, or it's like all these different things. And I just don't feel like the breasts are really thought about in the way that they should be, essentially, as much as remembering like their, you could say, main function, right? And I would love to study more about the breast. I just realized that's like an anatomy way, because I have like all these other conspiracy theories or thoughts or theories or hypotheses of different things, right? Like different expressions on the body. And it's pretty interesting, right? How the development stages, like I'm kind of mind blown about all this. I always do this, dude. And the sign's like an obnoxious blue. But this is like the last day that we came. For today. For now. Oh. Okay. Okay, so wait. Oh, there's so much energy. Let me try to focus. Blue sign, forgot everything before that. Sometimes if you leave in the comments some things like, I got it. Close. But yeah, you could always leave in the comments, be like, hey, finish talking about this. You could help in that way. So we can keep this going at the level that we are attempting to go. And back to the breast, right? Expressing how the only word I can hear is lactating. Okay, I don't know how else to express this in a politically correct or socially accepted and fully understood the expression of breast and feeding children. And man, I had this other thought. Let me see if I can access it. I'm still feeling like all the rage and the shamefulness and like the hatefulness towards breasts and like all the breast cancer and all those vibrations of that, like that is just boiling under my skin. And I have reached here at the gym now, so like my whole everything is just like ready to just get in there. And I have yet to actually fully explore all of the other activities available at the gym, so possibly I could bring this thing in there with me and take a little tour and see what's going on up in there all the way. I know there's treadmills up there, but I always wear my sandals, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like a barefoot girl. I don't know, I kind of don't want to mess up my pedicure though, right? On the treadmill running barefoot. I don't really need the treadmill either, because I really just love running on the earth. That's really fun. I feel like we've just really become disconnected from nature as a collective, and that we're just like really conditioned into buildings and surveillances and conditional responses. I'm also thinking again about sex being used to like manipulate our mind into behaving and to expressing in one way, that we are completely owned and dominated and controlled at all times like a robot based off of our sexual desires or interest. And right, we might not even feel that way, but then some type of stimuli triggers and brings back all those things that one has watched and witnessed, right? Things that they are into, fetishes, categories, and expressings and beings. People forget, and they just don't know, or they just like haven't really fully explored themselves. I mean, there's so many different narratives of this, so many, and at the same time I'm feeling vibrations that like also this conversation is completely meaningless. It's completely meaningless. It's like a waste of time almost, some might have a story otherwise. And we could access, again, the age of duality, all those different things, the contrast that isn't really real, or how both are really like a reality. People forget. But it's like people choose to forget, and they enjoy the process of waking up and understanding humanity or life, or humanity is like the best possible word I could ever use. My hair needs a brush. It's just like not. I don't like how people are like proud to put on the mask, you know what I mean? I feel like this vibe all the time about the mask, about faith in God. And like the habitual thought kind of makes me grind my teeth and like get really upset, right? Because I can feel a lot of people that would get really mad that I even had that thought, right? But notice who the type of people that it's going to be that don't like that thought, right? So I have this thought about the mask sometimes about faith, right? Like if you have faith in your God and that like you're good and that like you're following your instructions, like your intuition, your feeling, your beingness, your knowingness, your love, your passion, not like your fear, or like it's hard to explain. Like when you're fully connected, or when you are in alignment, you know, in what you say, what you think, what you do, they're on harmony and not just like hiding or fragmented. It's important to take time to get to know yourself. And sometimes it's very difficult to completely watch the self and to know the self, which is why we run from self when we try to find others to help us see ourselves, and so we can help ourselves change ourselves and be differently. Some people will genuinely pay you to tell them what's wrong with them. Like, please, everyone's like kissing my ass and being fake to me. Please, tell me the truth. Like, I'll pay you to humiliate me and to make me be a better person. Please. I'm like, who wants to join my school? I'll train you. Sincerely though, like the love, where is it? Where are you hiding? Listen to your intuition, your feeling, your beingness. Let it lead you, let it guide you, let it be your compass. So I'm going to go back to that traumatic thought that you don't want to hear. And it's about putting on the mask and having faith in God enough that you are protected, or like, you know what I mean? Like, you're hiding who you are. You're not breathing. You don't care about your breath. You want to act like you want to act like how you feel yourself in your mask doesn't make sense. You want to believe that what people are telling you, that mask, breathing in your own exhalations isn't bad, or that suffocating half all of your breathing, right? That it's not bad for you, or that's not depleting your oxygen. Just think about it for a minute. That's all I'm saying, is just feel into it, you know? Feel your own feelings instead of believing everything that you're told. And just like, I wouldn't be surprised if 10 years from now, if they're fucking having studies and scientists and people who are saying, yeah, asthma has increased as we do these studies and we watch these things, or whoever knows what's going on. The oxygen deprivation from the brain, not allowing enough photons, light and information. I feel like there's so many photons than there's ever been before on the planet. Like the sun is like closer than it's ever been type thing. You know, all these different feelings and beingness. God, I love being in Florida and just being able to like absorb this. And yeah, it's probably not so healthy, dude. Like there's like, it's not so healthy because look, there's not a single cloud. It's not right? Like that's been orchestrated and like it's an illusion, right? Not a single one, you understand? You know what I had the idea of? That I could just pretend that I'm like video chatting. And technically I kind of am video chatting, you know? But like there's no one really there but you. But like, who are you? Who am I? Some people are so proud to wear the mask. And they all got like their own badges and their own things. And all I can think of is badge of shame. Aho. Very few of you know who that is. Joe goes, my boy. Oh my God. My love, my girl. Yes. Bro. Oh, bro. Oh my God. God is like the mother and the father and like the brother and the sister, and people just don't understand all of like this I am energy. And I don't mean me, and very few people will ever be able to see and know and understand this infinite truth that just serves such divine bliss. And this brings me back to another thought that I had before that I'm pretty sure I didn't state publicly here, is about all of the excitement of waking up and seeing source and not being able to have like that Christ like restfulness, like peace, you know? Like I'm still like, oh my God, go. But I feel like I'm killing myself because I'm basically like spending all this energy at a time I don't really need to, so I could just like calm down. But I'm feeling like all this joy and all this gratitude and all this appreciation and love and and devotion, and I wanted to say extoration, but I don't even know what that means either. But I feel like this, like, wanting slavery from God, like being under its care and its knowingness and its love and its peace and its stillness and its view of seeing everything, how everything operates. And you can operate from the higher self level and really look at the room and like the places that you travel to. Or like something else that helps is also just notice how, like, when you're in the presence of all these different people, notice how each person makes you feel a little different, right? Like, some people you might be more drawn to. Some people might be more, like, timid with. Some people might be more, right? And some people you might be more. Oh. Interesting. I heard. Yeah, I could make that happen, possibly. I've just been hit up for a potential booking on Thanksgiving. We'll see about that. Thanksgiving. Giving thanks to the Lord, dude. That's what Thanksgiving is to me. Not about me giving myself a freaking turkey that I, like, hunted and killed and did all that. As much as, like, I enjoy, like, that combination of things, or just that I was conditioned and raised with, like, a family, right, in America or whatever that does that. So, like, it's just, like, the childhood memories of just all of us being together and, like, using that sacrament or sacrifice, like, all that stuff. So I feel like Thanksgiving is, like, giving thanks to God. And, like, I have, like, a lot of other things that I feel like could only ever possibly be released in a book, is what I'm getting vision of. Even though, as much as I would just love to just, like, keep doing this, like, there's, like, everything needs to be contained. I can't just have, like, 5 million episodes. I mean, everything's not organized and categorized through year or anything like that. Like, there would have to be so much work done. And, like, there would have to be, like, a super Trina Mason fan or something like that had an account that did it, like, saved each video to each year. Or, like, I don't even know how you would organize, make different categories of, like, oh, these are discussions on this topic or this or that, you know? It's just very, very disorganized right now. And it's, like, it's basically a full-time job. Excuse me, just manage that. My soul's very tired. Very tired. A lot of people are masking, like, hiding who they really are. That's, like, an autistic term that I learned, you know, that we mask and act like different, or you could say pretentious, like that we're smarter than we really are, or like that, like, we can carry something heavy that maybe we can't really carry. Or and sometimes that can be, like, something heavy could be like a situation that we say, I can take this on, I can do this with this person, like assuming your role when it's not true. Like, I don't know how else to explain that to you. Again, there's so many different people and interfaces, and you know, I can't just, like, constantly spend my world or my time online, like on web camera with people. I do have, like, sessions available if you like to book a you know, a Zoom call or some type of conversation. Maybe I could do, like, a group collective that everyone can join at this rate. I have no idea. I'm new to this technocracy world, and I'm cool with it because I like to have the freedom of being able to travel and I don't mean just travel. Like, if I mean just, like, something, I don't mean, like, drastic travel to other countries, as much as I freaking love seeing the way the whole universe is and how every culture lives and being around different people and just vibing different places, okay? I mean, traveling also is just, like, yeah, just me driving my car here, or going to the beach, or going to a nature park, or checking out this person's shop and exploring what they have going on and what they've been doing with their lives, and just exploring and traveling the world, you know, really exploring humanity and individuality, finding what makes me feel good, and finding ways to be okay and good with myself and myself alone, instead of feeling a need to constantly seek that out also. So there's all, like, this balance and all this paradigm, and I'm really, like, tired of trying to, like, save the world and change the world. Like, it's been, like, almost like an obsession since I was a kid, is just, like, studying humanity and just, like, telling stories about it and just feeling like, oh my God, what is this life? What is this? What does it mean? What's the purpose? Am I a people helper? Is that my purpose? Is my purpose to just say I'm sorry every freaking day of my life until I get to go back? Is that yes? Or is it yet to be determined? Let the actions speak for itself. Allow my life to shine as a light for everyone else to find the way with them, with you, with me, with us. Let every one of my friends hold hands and see the truth of us being family and having the chance to spend our time with one another. The once in a lifetime chance is having this moment. It's a gift. There's so many who never got to have this gift in this moment, in this world, in this way. And there's so many changes to come. And many of them will come from you planting seeds today that will change your tomorrows if you had not done that today. Where you can look at your future self and say, hey, I choose to do this. And your past self can say, hey, oh my God, thank you for doing that. Because now, next day you is saying, hey, oh my God, can we do this now that we did this? Yes? And then again, keep planting seeds, keep planting ideas, keep planting little nuggets of information. And information can be a task, a doing, a thought, a repetition. Get to know your own intimate experience. And instead of being codependent upon me to tell me who you are and what you are doing with your life, just know that you are loved so much. Loved so much, loved so much, loved so much, loved so much. Porque te quiero tanto. Porque te quiero tanto. Porque te quiero tanto. Con todo mi corazón. Hey, Anna, hey, because I love you so much. Because I love you so much. Because I love you so much. With all of my heart. Hey, Anna, hey, oh God, I love you so much. Oh my God. Ho'oponopono, God. Ho'oponopono. I love you, God. Please forgive me, God. Thank you, God. I'm sorry, 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 God. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please forgive me, God. Please forgive me, God. Please forgive me, God. Please forgive me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ho'oponopono, 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 God. Ho'oponopono, ho'oponopono, ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono, 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 ho'oponopono to myself. I'm sorry, myself. I'm sorry, Trina. I love you, Trina. Please forgive me, Trina. Thank you, Trina. Thank you, Trina. Thank you, Trina. Thank you, Trina. Oh. So much gratitude. So much forgetfulness, so much abandonment, so much ignorance. Excuse my nosiness and my judgment. Okay? I know I need to stay out of everyone's business and just stay focused on my stuff, but everyone else's stuff is just a reflection of my stuff. And I'm just like, it's everywhere I go. It's not leaving me. So women have also been conditioned to not feeling like they have the permission to approach a male. And males tend to at times get intimidated when a female is approaching them and thinking only sexual intentions, or not fully understanding the full intention at why God has blessed you with this person's presence and what their full purpose is. Sometimes only by taking a true break, meaning not even being with them in your mind, taking a true disconnection and a break. Understand? Truly living your life. I've recently given some of the best, most intense readings I've ever done in my life, and I'm so thankful for the people who have been holding space for me, allowing me to access these different states of consciousness and different awarenesses about the reality that is life and that is now, that is for all of us, and giving me permission to just receive and hear and connect and love and grow together as one, and being able to hold space for one another, and being able to access and understand the paradigm in a new way that I wasn't able to see without your presence and without me being able to talk to you, because the way that I talk to you is very different how I talk to everybody else. And only a few of you could ever really understand that and really take your time and understand like who I am to the public, or who I am with this person, or who I am with that person. Like, it's not up to you to decide that I am like your servant or treating you in this way. You may choose to be treated by humanity in this way, and you can say, hey, this is my boundary, and this is my conditioning, my experience, my trauma, and this is why I think I need to be treated this way, or this is what I think I need, and I think that you can give it. You know, it's important to be transparent instead of like sickening and suffocating and masking and hiding who you are and pretending that you don't feel this way, or you don't think this way, or you don't really like this, or you don't really like that, or that you're not really into this at night, or that you're not really into this in the day, or whatever. You understand? Taking your time, getting to really know yourself and really loving yourself enough to be able to like see you like completely and be like, okay, I accept me. Yeah, I see myself completely. I don't deny that about myself. I don't hide that from people. That's how I am. Like, that's how I am. That's my name. That's me. You know me, right? All of those feelings, all of those truths. But so much ignorance and like bliss is happening from that tuning out, and they just are saving that pain for another day, when really, if you go into that pain right now, you understand, we can all lift up and stop being such a heavy weight, hiding that anger at our fathers or our mothers or our Father in heaven and all those different vibrations. You understand? All these like gentlemen keep smiling at me and noticing me, and I feel like I need to like go inside. There was girls in the parking lot. They didn't even like look at me, right? They gave me that shield of protection or whatever. I am also kind of like explorative, and my awarenesses are on the outside instead of being exclusively focused upon you. So I wonder if that has to do with it. I am perceiving myself from all these different viewpoints. I'm so exhausted and tired of these stories. Like, my brain is just on thinking and doing mode. And I recognize it comes from trauma, from deep suppressed trauma of like denying how I feel and how angry I am, and how like I can't hear this and I can't deal with this. I can't be on these frequencies, these subtle frequencies of noises and all these different things. Not everyone can notice these things, but I have had some friends that can hear these low-pitched sounds. And I've also discovered inside that Messages from the Body book that there is information in the book if you can't hear high-frequency tones and if you can't hear low-frequency tones. This has been one of the coolest books ever come into my existence. And like, honestly, I don't know enough people to share with them all these different things and to interact and play with these different mantras or different aspects of understanding life. And I need to open the beginning of the book and really read it. Like, if I could just be paid to do like one thing, and I feel like I'm lying, because there's like one other thing that I really want to do too, right? There's a million things I want to do, but there's really like one thing that is like my secret in my prayer closet that I really, really want to do with my life. Oh my God. And that's just the beginning of just like opening interfaces with so many other different dreams and so many different other aspects of reality. Oh my goodness. Now back to what I was channeling before. It's about if I could have a space and have enough money to just like live in a place that makes me really happy and feels comforted and full of joy and peace and serenity, and is my sacred place that possibly has waterfalls inside, you know, and please let me pick my own things and take my own time, because there are divine timings of getting this item at this time, and then at this time, or at this time, or at this time, and when it's really appropriate and ready. Transparency. I would love to just continue learning. Like, to just continue, just to have like a space to just read all the time, to just have like a reading room, that this is like my library. And yes, I love Brian's dream about opening a public library. Not just a public library, a metaphysical library where people can come in and have coffee and do this. I think that everybody should do this. I think it should be brought to the community. And I would love for Brian to have permission, since if like anyone's going to steal that idea, if you are really about it, please help Brian. Let Brian create this vision that he has. I would love to be a part of it too. I will donate books. I would love to like help construct and organize this. And like yeah, I'd be open to having multiple locations all over the world just representing this idea, and having people donate books to the shop, or hey, if you want to come in and get a coffee, freaking give a book. I wonder if the business of the shop would have to claim the amount of the book as income. And if that's true, would they claim the amount that the book is worth brand new, or would they charge it for the price that the person bought it for if it was $2 at the thrift store? America government question. Go. Is it the same with businesses? My name. My name? My name is a joke. It means Trina. It means Trinity. That I'm supposed to like become one with God. That I'm supposed to get pure. I'm supposed to be good. Pure. Nice. Good. Nice. Trinity. What is it? The Father? I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'm new. I don't know anything about Jesus Christ. Please teach me everything, okay? Nothing. And pretend that that's not true. But don't pretend that's not true, because I need to learn everything. And, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. I'm pretty sure that's it. Pretty sure. I'm not sure. Feel free again to teach in the comments and talk back. I've been sitting here a long time. I think I want to go inside. And I'm nervous and need to use the restroom. I'm go number 1. Some people are like, too much information. How come that's like a shameful topic? Why are we shamed about having to go to the bathroom? Why are those forbidden on even like, certain portals where that type of content is seeked, right? Like a lot of those places ban. They ban. You can't use any fake blood. You can post it on social media and do all this makeup effects and stuff like that, as long as it's fake. All these different things, okay? People don't understand. I get really mad of their ignorance. But I'm also mad at my own ignorance that I can't just like stay focused on myself. I just hate all the conditioning and the control, and I do believe in the freedom. And part of my life mission, I feel like, is to get pure, like meaning to like get light, to not be so angry, to not be so sad, to have more compassion for humanity, instead of taking it all so personal and trying to play God and get involved inside everyone's business and to act like I think I know everything, when really like I just have feelings and that they're controlling me like a freaking robot. And I am a victim of like conditioning and thinking, and I am choosing to uncondition my mind from freaking sexual slavery, like from feeling like my worth is all in that, or like that I need that release all the time, instead of getting that motherly nurturing that I really need to serve myself, instead of constantly seeking outside. I could have this talk forever and just keep talking about infancy traumas and talking about different dynamics and different relationships and all different experiences people have with moms and with themselves, women becoming moms and different things like that. And I wish that I could get a bunch of different women on here who are comfortable with talking, and we don't have to show your face, we can just have your voice. You can use a fake name. However, I'm not really looking for that as much as I'm looking for people who are kind of like me, that are open and sharing their testimony, and that are really consenting and sharing themselves authentically with themselves in the world, and accepting who they are and stepping into their paradigm, or perhaps giving themselves permission to have access to other people who might be able to help them see that they are not as shitty or awful as they think that they are, or that they think that other people are, and things like that. Again, I do need to use the restroom, so I am going to GTFO. I am extremely nervous. Is that? I always like to, when I see people, my brain likes to tell me that there's someone I know. And then I'm like a dog. Like I get like happy waggy tail. Like, oh my God, person. Hey, let's go outside. Let's go for a run. Hey, let's go outside. All these different paradigms. Woo! I have so much energy, and I'm like ready to just sweat and chill out. And I thought about possibly again bringing you in there for the first time today, since it is possibly my last time coming here. I'm not sure. It's a pretty cool place. Time will only tell. let actions speak for themselves. I guess it's my time to go. Yo, I have this subconscious belief system too that I'm ugly without makeup, and that I'm ugly and I look like I have no hair when I don't have my hair down. So like a lot of girls are brainwashed into their beauty about their hair and about makeup when really like it's about the insides. So much love and devotion. I have to go. My boyfriend's texting me. I love you. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I have to run. If you want more time with me, please know I'm available for private sessions. Please, please, please. This is what I do with my life and my living. I would love to have a talk with you. It's up to you. Donation based. Ho'oponopono. Jabbergwan. Many blessings.